Welcome back, everyone. The Springfield Police Department Citizens Police Academy is set to begin a new class in March.
That's just one of the stops we make as Western Mass News goes town by town. This 12-week program offers citizens insight into how police officers perform their duties and how the department serves the community. The academy is open to all residents of Springfield who are at least 18 years old. Non-residents are encouraged to apply and will be considered if the class does not fill to capacity. There's no cost to attend. The application deadline is Friday, February 17th.
2023 kicks off with 9 businesses receiving mini grants from the Latino Economic Development Corporation Office. Select businesses in Holyoke, Chicopee, and Springfield will receive funding. Today, the LEDC awarded 9 grants to Latino businesses that are focusing on growing in the new year.
The West Springfield Council on Aging hosted its monthly Learn and Lunch this morning at the West Springfield Senior Center. The event was aimed at helping walk residents through the process of downsizing, moving in with family, or making the move to assisted living. Attendees over the age of 60 who were there got free lunch as well, and those younger than 60 paid just $3.75 for the meal.